Topping the news this hour, we are getting our first look at pictures from inside the mission Iowa law enforcement took for 2 weeks near the Mexican border. Governor Kim Reynolds sent 28 members of the Department of Public Safety after the governor of Texas asked for help because of the rapid increase in migrants crossing into the U.S. Political Director Dave Price joins us with more. Dave.
Janae, the Reynolds administration said that Iowa law enforcement spent 12 days aiding law enforcement near the Mexican border in southwest Texas and that they made a difference. It was Operation Lone Star. It is in the Del Rio region in southwest Texas. Governors from South Dakota, Nebraska, Florida, and Arkansas have also pledged resources to this effort. Now, the Iowans down there did not have any arrest power since they weren't members of the Texas law enforcement, so they merely assisted in a lot of ways. And some of the work was humanitarian, as they sent us these pictures showing them helping migrants crossing the Rio Grande. That's the river that flows between Mexico and Texas. Iowa law enforcement reports that the officers encountered 1,400 undocumented migrants over these 12 days. This is all part of a mission which was unlike any the patrol has ever undertaken before.
12 straight days, 12-hour, sometimes 16-hour shifts, extreme heat, unforgiving terrain, challenging geopolitical dynamics. But the men and the women of the Iowa State Patrol showed up.
During a news conference today, the Iowa law enforcement leaders released pictures of some of the duties they say the state's law enforcement performed during that assignment in Texas. They say they provided the humanitarian aid, but also helped with investigations into drugs, migrants eluding authorities, and also human trafficking cases. The governor said that she approved this mission because of the escalation of migrants and drugs that are coming into the U.S. during the first year of the Biden administration.
I made this decision because the federal government has abdicated its duty. Texas law enforcement and border agents are being overwhelmed, and the crisis at the border isn't staying at the border.
Her administration estimated that the assignment to Texas cost Iowa taxpayers about $200,000 in additional costs. That would be along with the $100,000 that would pay for the salaries of the officers while they were working in Texas rather than working in Iowa. Governor also said that after RAGBRAI this week and then the Iowa State Fair next month, which both of those require a lot of additional efforts by the State Patrol, that's when she will then consider whether to approve another group of Iowa law enforcement to the Mexican border again, if that's requested by the governors of Texas and Arizona.
Dave, you said that it was a mission unlike any other for the State Patrol. Did you get a sense that this is what they were expecting when they were down on the U.S.-Mexico border?
Some of it was, and you know, big picture, there just hasn't been a governor in the state's history that has sent a group of law enforcement to another state for anything like this before, but law enforcement had been communicating with the authorities in Texas, so they knew what the circumstances were there. They knew going into this that they couldn't arrest people. They would be assisting, so you have a two-person vehicle, for example. The driver is the law enforcement member from Texas, and then the passenger is the one from Iowa, so they can perform different duties, and it's more of an assist role. But they did bring specialized officers down there, those who had been specifically trained for things like drugs and to spot certain things when you're doing these investigations. But we also know that they could have to return there later because once these cases proceed through the legal system, they may have to come back there to talk about what they witnessed. So this may not be finished even if the governor doesn't approve another mission there.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dave.